Social music talk. What's happening? Alex Cosper along with Sam Kadura. Sam, are you there? My producer.
Connecting with your guest at the moment.
Oh, good. So is everything cool? I'll let you take care of that, right?
Yeah, we're working on it. It'll be about another minute, so just jive a little.
Okay, I'll talk
Give
about
you
the
a little
guest.
opening about the guest.
So anyway, my guest is someone who is a friend who goes way back, like early 90s. And we were in radio together, and we hosted a show together, a local music show, and it was a cool station that brought together musicians and lots of good vibes, and it was totally an alternative station. And then Morris went on to I'm talking about Morris Knight of San Francisco Radio, iHeart Radio. I'm telling the story of Morris. Morris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man.
Awesome. Man,
Yeah.
I've been looking forward all week for this interview, man.
You know what,
man? Me too, Alex. It's great to talk to you, man.
And I'll be the third to chime in on that sentiment.
Hey, Sam has worked for iHeart in San Diego.
And I've worked for Quad 106.
That's right, that's right. He worked there in the 80s when it was top 40.
So that means that Sam was working at Quad when I was in high school.
Right.
When my high school, Foothill High School in Sacramento, voted Quad 106 as our number one favorite radio station.
Woo!
And we recorded that in our yearbook.
Awesome.
Right on.
Yeah.
You still have that yearbook,
right?
right?
On, Sam. Much
Hey,
love,
Right
man.
on.
Hey, do you still have that yearbook?
I still do.
Oh, put it on Facebook one of these days, man. That's awesome.
I sure will.
Like
I
on
sure
my
will,
wall, man. That's
it was
awesome.
It was so crazy because, I when I got the internship at Quad 106 in 1990, I remember thinking, man, everybody that I went to high school is going to think this is the greatest thing ever because we voted Quad 106 our favorite radio station at that time. And then now I'm working at that radio station, and they actually had like different sections of our yearbook about favorites and fads and stuff. And when it came to favorite radio stations, Quad 106 was number one.
Oh,
1986.
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And I was doing overnights at that time.
Wow, man. Alex Cosper, it's awesome.
And also, I was the guy scheduling all the music at that time. I didn't have the title of music director till 88 and then program director 91, but I was the guy from 84 on scheduling the music at Quad.
So then that's why we voted you guys our favorite radio station, because Alex Cosper was the one responsible for playing all the music that we love.
Well, me and, the people.
Right.
The listeners.
Right.
I mean, I just kind of went along with the listeners, and also I always pushed for the music that I thought was really cool. Like in the 80s, to me, it was stuff like Prince and Madonna, and like when it was early, and all their stuff, actually, and just all the cool, crazy 80s stuff that went with, you play a lot of 80s. I heard your broadcast yesterday. Tell us about your show, because you play a lot of 80s music. I heard you play Madonna, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. I was like, wow, they didn't ban that.
It's really, really cool, man. Our program director, Ricky Filiar, really, really keeps it honest and keeps it real when it comes to our presentation at iHeart 80s at 103.7 in San Francisco. We're like, Northern California's only all 80s radio station.
Wow.
And when we say all 80s, we really mean we cover it all.
Do you
it
go
happened
deep?
in the 80s, we do go deep. On Friday nights, we have this thing called Flashback Friday Nights, where it's all new wave.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's not just the surface stuff, but, I mean, we're playing the Flirts, we're playing Joe Boxers, we're playing New Order, we're playing Depeche Mode.
So anything on Quad
deep stuff.
in the modern rock era, right?
Exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly. If it definitely, anything that was on Quad, especially in the 80s, is exactly what we're doing right now. On top of, during the week, we're doing all the, the Bruce Springsteens, the Prince, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Taylor Dane, Rick Astley, Fleetwood Mac, anything that was great like that in the 80s. Not so much the soft stuff, not so much of the yacht rock stuff
Right. Party
that
stuff.
I still love. But we cover some of that stuff on Sunday mornings because we actually rebroadcast Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the actual 80s real broadcast.
Oh, that's cool.
With Casey Kasem.
And
Casey it's really cool. So.
Casey is who influenced me to get into radio. I never met him, but listening to his show is what hooked me into radio as a kid.
He was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the genius of storytelling.
Yeah.
I think that's what being on the air is all about.
It really is. So, I feel very fortunate and blessed to be able to work at a radio station and play the music that I love, the music that I grew up on,
totally.
The personalities. I mean, we even have Martha Quinn from MTV doing our mornings for us. So it couldn't be more 80s than that.
That is pretty 80s. I mean, I was tracking you guys. I was writing down everything you played, and I was like, wow, this is... But then again, you have it on your website as well. But I was doing it for my own notes, and I was like, wow, this is stuff I played. Every single one of these was songs I played on Quad at one time,
That's true.
Quad was a modern rock
Alex
station.
Alex did it first.
But it's funny that, you started radio in 1990, and Quad was in Sacramento, kind of taking after... there weren't too many modern rock stations around the country at that time. So it was kind of patterning after like Bay Area stuff and LA and MTV, that kind of stuff. But I always remember at Quad when I came, I was gone for about a year and a half. And when I came back, you were there. You had started in the interim there.
Right.
And you were the one out of all of everybody there, that, including me, that knew the most about modern rock, I thought.
Yeah. And it's funny because at that time, I really didn't take notice of that. I just assumed that everybody knew what I knew. It wasn't until I got into deeper conversations with like you in particular that there were people that knew what I knew and knew even more than what I knew. But it basically was just me and my friends. I wasn't Alex. I wasn't a really big sport. I wasn't into sports at all. I wasn't into anything. I was just 100% into music, and it was the music that me and my friends listened to and partied to, and tried to recreate it even on our own. And when I got the Quad, it was really I don't know. It was a great thing to be there, but I kind of took it for granted that people did not know everything that I knew about it.
Yeah, it was like
because they just assumed that they did.
But you know what? You brought, and there was one other person that brought knowledge to me before I came back to Quad, and she, as well, African American. She went on to become a movie star and a TV star named Marin Dungy. Ever hear of Marin Dungy?
The name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Well, she was my intern in 1989, and you might recall that Quad was kind of experimenting with modern rock that year. It was top 40, but it was kind of joking around, trying to say, hey, let's mix in lots of stuff. Let's get crazy, But she was my intern, Marin Dungy, and her sister went on to become the program director of ABC TV, the one who was in charge of all the programming of television on ABC.
Wow.
And that also
awesome.
Played into Marin, I think, getting lots of TV roles. She was on Malcolm in the Middle and all kinds of shows of that magnitude back in the 90s through 2000s. And she told me the whole point of this story is back in 1989, she was trying to beg me to get Quad to switch from top 40 to modern rock. And she told me about the Smiths. She told me about
a
lot about The Cure. We were already playing Just Like Heaven and the hits,
Right.
I already knew a lot about Depeche Mode. They had a lot of hits by then, and Erasure, and those kind of groups. But she was deep into the Smiths and a lot of really cool XTC type groups. And I didn't really take her that seriously. I just thought she was a really cool person, real smart about music. And then I ended up DJing her sister's wedding, and we got together, and that was just an awesome reunion. And I had to thank her. She even reminded me how she's the one who told me about modern rock. And I go, you're right. I should have listened to you back then. But
that's cool, man.
But isn't that amazing? My intern went on to become like a TV star, and her sister was the head of ABC TV programming. Channing Dungey was the head of ABC TV, but she left late last year.
Okay, all right. I need to look her up, man. She'd probably be very pleased to know that we have a very deep, serious connection like that.
That is cool, man. Oh, Marin has a Twitter account for sure, so you could find her on that. And she's on Wikipedia. And I am Internet Movie Database, IMDb. She's on that. Marin Dungey. Yeah, Marin Dungey. They went to my high school, Rio Americana. What high school? You went to Foothill, right?
Yeah, in Sisters Heights, Foothill Farms.
Yeah.
I went to Foothill High School.
And you went to high school with someone who became a huge rock star for, he still is in our minds in Sacramento. I mean, that is Tommy Flowers of Oleander.
It's so funny, man, because, I remember, just hanging out with Tom, myself and Carl and Derek, and, we were just all kids. We were musical kids just trying to do our thing. I remember being, at Carl house, hanging out with Tom, and we're just, hanging out with our guitars and drum machines and keyboards and stuff. And we all had these huge dreams and aspirations and of things that we were going to do after we got out of high school. And so then when I woke up one day and realized that this awesome band called, Oleander, wait a minute, that's my boy. That's freaking Tommy Flowers. Get the hell out of him. And we were very excited for him, very happy for him, because I had kind of lost touch with him for a couple of years. So I didn't know, after we graduated high school, I didn't know he had this whole other, band thing going on, and then that would, end up becoming Oleander.
Right.
So when I found out about that, I was just, completely stoked. I was like, oh my God, he totally did it. He made it. That's awesome.
They had some pretty big alternative hits in the 90s, and Why I'm Here was my favorite.
Yeah, definitely, man. They definitely did their thing. They made their mark.
Yeah, they and Deftones. You are the one who turned me on to Deftones like 6 years before they were signed, or maybe 4 years before they were signed. Because I think it was our Sound of Sacramento thing that got them noticed, or the other way around, got us to notice them. Yeah, either way, we were working together. Like in '92, you and I started hosting that show, and they were one of the first bands we played on there off cassette.
Yeah. I think I still have that cassette.
But it was you who told me about them, and you brought them to the show. Social music.